Good evening, everyone. I'm Debbie Vallis with Feel Good Qigong, and I'm going to do a short yoga practice. It's a great time to do at the end of the day, so we'll get right into it. Let's do a little bit of rotation of our wrists to start. And we're going to inhale, interlace your fingers, and you're going to scoop up and a little bit of a back bend. Not much, just a little bit. Soft knees as we slowly float down. And then these arms come up. Start to reach them up as you inhale, a little bit of a back bend again. As you exhale, you're starting to come forward. Soft knees as you come down. And then inhale all the way up into a little bit of a back bend. And as you exhale, roll forward. Inhaling, coming up, rising up, a little bit of a back bend. As you exhale, your forward fold. And then inhale, we're going to rise all the way up. Palms of the hands are still faced up. Engage your abdominals. You're down through your feet. And we're going to lean over to our right side for a side flexion. And then inhale again. Exhale over to your right side for a side flexion. We're going to do that one more time. This time, let's come onto our toes. Drop the heels. And then lean over to your left side. Back to center, onto the toes, drop the heels, over to your right side. Then bring the arms straight out in front of you, feeling that stretch from the backs of your shoulders to the palms of your hands. Soften the knees again, and we're just going to twist the spine into a twisting flexion. So we're getting all our flexions in this little routine. Back flexion, forward flexion, side flexion, and a twisting flexion. Bring your hands to your low back. We're going to add a rotation to it. All the way around, warming up the hip joints, warming up the rib cage, all those muscles in between the ribs to help with breathing. And let's take it to the other direction. Also, you can feel that rotation in your knees, also in your ankles. And then we're going to come back again and do the same routine. Interlace your fingers. You're going to scoop up and back into your back bend as you inhale. As you exhale, you're folding forward, soft knees, coming forward, and then start to rise up the arms as you inhale back into a back bend, back flexion. Exhale, soft knees, forward flexion. Inhale all the way back up, palms of the hands face up. We lean over to one side, start with the left side, over to the other side, and stretch to the right side. Bring the hands straight out in front of you, soften the knees, and we twist. We do a twisting flexion from side to side. And then bring the hands to your low back, and we're going to do another rotation in one direction. And try to get your upper body also in this rotation. Other direction. And then return back to center. One more time, interlace the fingers. We scoop up into our back flexion. Exhale, soft knees, forward flexion. Inhale, start to rise up, back flexion. Exhale, forward flexion. Rising all the way up onto the toes, arms above your head. Drop the heels over to your left, side flexion. Onto the toes, drop the heels, over to the right side, side flexion, arms straight out in front of you, soften those knees, and we twist from side to side, twisting flexion. Hands come to your low back. Let's separate the legs this time a little wider, and we're going to do a bigger rotation all the way around. So you feel that in your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your belly, your chest, your shoulders, and also your head and your neck, all the way around. Take it to the opposite direction. So we've just warmed up our spine. Back to center, widen the legs a little bit more, and we're going to bend the knees, bring the hands on the thighs. You're going to inhale into your dog tilt. Exhale, round into your cat tilt. Inhale, dog tilt. We're going to take our right shoulder to our left knee. Press your right hand on the inside edge of the right knee and open that hip a little bit more. As you exhale, round the spine. Inhale, dog tilt. Take your left shoulder to your right knee. Press your left hand in the inside of your left knee for a little bit of compression, opening up that hip, and round all the way up to standing. Arms come out to the side, onto the toes. Stretch through your fingers, stretch through your toes, release the arms. One more time, stretch all that fascia, that web-like material that holds your body together. We come over to the side for a side flexion. Up, back to center, over to the other side, a side flexion. And then we're gonna slide down again, soft knees, and now we're gonna come into a complete wide angle forward fold. You're gonna bend one knee at a time, working on the inner thighs, the outer edges of the legs as well, bending both knees at the same time for a high squat. Now we're going to walk our hands over to our left foot as we turn to create a high lunge. Your right thigh is lifting towards the back of your right leg, your hamstring, and your left knee is even with your heel. And then we come into straightening that front leg, getting a deeper stretch in both legs and the hips. And then we come back into that high lunge, dropping that right knee, release the top of that right foot. And you're going to press your left arm into your left knee, create a little bit of compression. Take the hips back, left foot stays completely flat on the floor. Back into the low lunge. And then take it back, heel. You're on your heel now to stretch that hamstring. And then back into that low lunge. Taking your left foot to your right knee, or even, we do a couple of cat dogs here. Going back and forth, moving that spine into a cat tilt and a dog tilt. And then we'll do a rotation here on hands and knees, all the way around. Take it to the other direction. And then come into child here. And then slowly come sitting back on your heels. We're going to lean back, palms of the hands or fingertips on the floor, opening up the front of your thighs. Take several breaths here. No strain on the neck. Feeling that stretch in the front of the legs, top of the knees. We come back to center. We get prepared for our downward facing dog. And then back to hands and knees. We're going to take our right foot forward, left leg is back. Take your right elbow into your right knee, create that little bit of compression. And then we take the hips back. Right foot is flat on the floor. And then we come into that low lunge again. Come now onto your heel, releasing the hips back for a deeper stretch in that hamstring. And then back into the low lunge. Curl your toes under of that left foot, lift your left knee off the floor. We're going to take the right leg back to meet up with your left leg. Engage your entire body into plank. Engage the abdominals, engage your glutes. Shoulders are even with your wrists. Drop the knees, release the hips back, and then we're going to take this, we're going to thread this forward. Hips come forward. We're now in a very high cobra here. Take a few breaths. And then release, downward facing dog one more time. And we're going to walk our feet and our hands together, hang in a rag doll. And then slowly come up one vertebrae at a time. As you stack each vertebrae on top of each other, palms of the hands come together, and we rest right at the heart. Take a few breaths here. Notice how your body feels. So that's just a short routine that could really stretch out your entire body. Maybe set an intention for your evening. This evening, I move into my evening with vitality and releasing some tension as I can go into my evening with lots of relaxation and ease. Thank you for joining me, and namaste.